All right, hello, I'm Lieutenant Jason Fair with Albuquerque Fire Rescue. We're out here at 8500 Marquette Northeast on scene of a structure fire. Crews responded just after 1 a.m. They were on scene within 4 minutes. This is pretty close to Station 5. Engine 5 arrived and confirmed a working fire, two-story multifamily with fire showing from the front of the structure here. Crews went to work, forcing entry, started fire attack and going in for search. Upon making entry into the Bravo 1 exposure, the apartment on the left over there, two victims were located in there. Another victim was located in the back of that apartment that Ladder 5 pulled out of window on the backside. So Rescue 5, Medic 5, and Ladder 5 all went in for search. Engine 5 attacked the fire behind me here. One person was removed and worked. They were in cardiac arrest. That person was worked for 40 minutes and pronounced on scene. So they stopped resuscitation efforts. Two others were transported to UNMH. Last report I have was that they're both in critical condition and both intubated. So very serious injuries. And I'll send you guys some video of this fire later. It was a significant fire. Rescue 9 rode in. Albuquerque ambulance transported both of those patients. Rescue 9 rode in with one to assist with treatment and transport. So it's kind of where we're at. We did have a deceased patient on this fire. What I do want to highlight is the work that all the crews on scene did. Pulling multiple victims out of any fire is a huge task to ask anyone to do. You throw a well-secured board-up building into that, and it becomes even more difficult. These buildings are well secured. There was actually both of these bottom floor apartments. One was involved in fire. The victims were located in the other one. So anytime we're reporting any sort of injury, we had another injury fire yesterday morning, or in this case, a fatality. It's not something we want to report, but I do want to highlight the fact that 3 people were removed from this fire and 2 people were now given a chance to live. It doesn't matter if these fires happen in an area of town, on the other side of town, or here in Fives. These crews respond the same way every time and treat all life as the same. So all lives are worth saving, and sometimes we get the question about, is it worth it for us to search these vacants and some of these boarded up structures? And I think this morning's fire highlighted the reason why we do go inside. So I do really want to commend all the crews from Station 5, Station 12, Station 13, Station 11, all the crews that responded, but particularly the crews at Fives who pulled these people out and gave them a chance to live. So do you guys have any questions for me?
Yeah, I wanted to get some clarification. Were the 3 people on that side of the building or this?
So my right or your left, the Bravo 1 exposure is what we'd call it. So the main body of fire was in this structure, and the people were located in the apartment behind me over there to the right.
And do you know by any chance how long this building has been there?
I don't. But the time frame actually reminded me of something. So I said crews arrived within 4 minutes of dispatch, and in under 10 minutes, all 3 people had been removed from the structure. So just really timely work for the crews here at Station 4 and a building that wasn't easy to make access to. So go ahead. I'm sorry to get off topic there.
Sure. Do you know what the condition of this building is right now?
Of the building? I don't. I mean, looking at it, there's far worse buildings that I've seen. It looks like some work has gone into this with new windows and stucco. The neighboring structure over there is occupied, so I don't know what the history behind this particular structure is or why, what led it to being either deemed substandard or not occupiable. Yeah, so the building was, I hate to say that a building's vacant or unoccupied or even abandoned. The term I prefer to use is a board up, because, as we saw this morning, that, a vacant or abandoned structure doesn't really apply when people are actually staying inside of it. But yes, it was not a building that was seen for regular use, I should say, or I don't know what the code status of it is, if it was actually deemed substandard. But yeah, no, this is not an occupied building at the time.
And then right now there's it's unknown what the cause was.
Yeah, the fire investigators did respond, and particularly whenever there's injuries, or in this case a fatality, it's a pretty extensive investigation that goes on. Usually they start that investigation by responding to try to speak with the patients at the hospital. As I understand the critical condition, they probably did not get a statement from them, so this is going to be an ongoing investigation.
Do we have ages of the
I don't have ages or gender.
Okay.
So if we start getting updates, we can get that stuff out, but right now I don't have any of that.
I've seen AFR paint the X on the other buildings? What is the significance of that?
So the X is it's to tell us that usually there's fire damage from a previous fire, or it's a structure that is substandard. So that's when we'd see these. We typically call them vacant. So the code enforcement is deemed that the building's not up to conditions for humans to occupy them. So that looks like that might be an old X, but generally it's stenciled on there. That looks like a different one. So I'm not sure what that one implies.
The fancier stenciled version.
Yeah, I don't know what that one is.
So the residents or the people that were found in this building, they weren't supposed to be in there? Is that the assumption?
Yes, yeah, no, this was so when I say it was well secured, so all the security doors on it were secured shut. So these were not, any of these doors were not meant for going in or out. That's another challenge that we have when responding to these types of structures is access is always limited. And so typically a front door is what we typically use for fire attack and search, because that's the door that's most commonly used. In a situation like this, it's not always the case. They did make an attack through the front door, but as I said, ladder 5 went and ended up going through a back window to make access, because it's often difficult to get into these structures. Highlighting anything that's tragic or results in injury, but I mean, I really do just want to highlight the work that the crews from fire is doing every day. It's been a busy year for fires already. I'm going to pull all the numbers now that we're into April to see what the first 3 months look like compared to 2024 to see if we're actually up or down as far as fire responses. But like I said, it's tough when you're in fire to try to highlight some of these. We're dealing with people's tragedies on a daily basis, but I really just want to try to focus on the crews in the job that they did here. So what was one fatality could have very easily been 3 or possibly 4. So if you guys got any other questions, let me know. I'd be happy to answer them. So.